Hello, wonderful creatives. I hope you are well. Today, I am holding this training all about how you can simplify the idea of making sales from your creations this month. And I'm doing this because, right now, because of two reasons. Because right now, when I'm recording this, it's November, very early November, and we're heading into the biggest spending quarter. We are in the biggest spending quarter of the year. So this is the best time to take a chance on yourself and be a little bit braver, be a bit bolder, and get yourself out there to make some sales. The second thing is I think we can really overcomplicate this process, and we kind of think we need all these things in place, and I'll do this when, and we never we make it too difficult for ourselves to start putting ourselves out there in very simple ways, creating our, using the connections that we already have. This is what we need to focus on right now, not worrying about having a huge audience, but focusing on the connections we already have in life and putting some things in place and putting some things out there that let them know about it, about how they can have something really wonderful of yours in their life. So today I'm just going to go through some of the key reasons why people sell regularly online. And we're going to be predominantly talking online because I think with artists, we know we can try and enter events or go with galleries, but I'm all about thinking about how you can manage and take your sales into your own hands as well. It doesn't mean all those other things aren't important and great to do in tandem, but the most powerful way to create a sustainable long-term business, if that's what you're wanting to achieve as an artist, is to create your own database of people, your own connections of people that know, love you, buy from you, and buy from you over and over again. And that over and over again creates your sustainable business. So what I wanted to talk to specifically today is just trying to show you how simple you can make this for yourself to give you the confidence to try something this month. So you might be in a position where you are an artist who sells very well, outside of your own connections, but struggle to make any sales online. I know that's pretty common. You might be somebody who just has never done it yet, and you're kind of going, I just don't have the confidence. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. No matter where you're at, I know this is going to be really relevant for you and really helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just talk through. I've created, like I do with all of these free trainings that I try and do one every week, generally doing one every week now. And I create a free resource for you to take away that you can populate and create a plan with. So something that you can tangibly take away and put into action to create some positive momentum with what you're trying to do with your art. So we're going to go through that document, and then there'll be a link posted below where you can download a copy yourself and use it. So I'm going to share. Firstly, I'm going to go through the things that really make the difference with regards to why people, and we're talking about artists because everyone watching this, most people watching this are most likely creatives, artists in some form. But this really does apply. This logic applies to pretty much anything you want to be selling. So I will talk about it in the terms of being an artist, but just know that this is kind of just considering what marketing and sales is in a holistic sense as well with any business that you might start. So no matter whether you have a business as a person who creates lovely ceramics or glassworks or paintings, this concept of what we're talking about, this process, what we're talking about, is all relevant. Even if you're selling shoes, it's relevant. So I'm going to make it very art related, and I'm going to talk about it as if you are selling as an artist. So here we go. Right. So there's 6 things that I think are the main reasons why some artists sell very regularly and consistently. So the first thing is that they create really clear anticipation and create excitement amongst the people who follow them or know them about what is coming. So they start to create a bit of a build. I'm doing this. I'm excited about this. This is coming. I'm going to have these available. they start to create this excitement. And the only way you can do that is by sharing what you're doing and sharing what's coming regularly. We often worry about posting too much or sharing too much, but in reality, the people, whether it's on social media or just, talking about it to friends and family, or whether it's talking about it to your LinkedIn contacts or sending an email to your colleagues, whatever it looks like, they're kind of going to need to be reminded a few times to have it stick in their heads. And I think often this is a mistake I used to make a lot early on, is I would start to post about something and I go, oh, I'm being too much. I'm not going to post again this week. It's just, I'm going to annoy people. When in reality, on social media, for example, people only see like 5 to 10% of posts that are put up. So you actually have to put like 10, 20 posts up for some people to even see it once. So just remember this really important fact that it's about repetition and sharing what you're doing in different ways, different photos, different stories, different pieces of the process. The second thing is they're very clear and specific about what is going to be available for purchase next. So what I see a lot of artists do, and this is what I used to do as well, like I talk on experience of what I reflect on now, and I'm like, oh, that's what was going wrong. And I can do that now. But we tend to create something, put a very minimal effort into marketing and sales. And then when we don't get the results or response in like a week or with a few posts, we kind of go, oh, it flopped. I'm just going to move to the next thing. So we're constantly changing and we're not putting we're not doing what we've created justice, in the sense of we're not giving it chance to really simmer and settle with people and make them go, actually, I do want this. And remember that the decision to buy doesn't happen immediately. It takes people 6, 7, 8 times to see something and go, I want it. I really want it. So we've got to remember this and stop thinking that it's, I put it up once or twice, no response, I'll do something else. And the point I'm trying to make here is that the people that have really consistent cycles of selling online, they have a plan where they go, right, I'm creating this, and this is when it's going to be sold. And I'm going to have a period of time where I plan to talk about it and sell it. And that is all I'm going to really focus on. You might add a few little bits and pieces here and there on life and your creations in between as a filler. But they are very clear on what they want the audience being focused on and what they want, to be seen over and over again. So they are willing to talk about something regularly and really make that the key thing that they focus on. And so that comes to the next point of they talk about it over and over again in different ways. So that is coming back to the things we've just talked about. How do I make sure people see this? Well, I need to create content and find a way to get this out in different places in different ways over and over again. And this is where we can often become unstuck, because again, we come up to this, I don't want to be annoying. I'm being annoying. I'm talking about the same thing. Whereas really people haven't even seen it because you've only talked about it 2 or 3 times. And they're like, oh, I totally missed that. So over and over again is very key. The fourth thing is they have a very easy way to buy it. So I'm going to talk a bit about this soon, about just considering some ways you can set this up, especially if you're starting. But often if you just say DM me if you want to buy it or you're interested, it's just a hurdle for people to have to jump over. So they might be really interested to buy something from you by the time you're like, it's available, but they're like, oh, I've got to message them and I'm not sure now. And it's kind of another thing that I've got to do that's potentially putting me off buying this thing. So having a way for people to buy from you, and you can do this without a website, by the way. You don't need to have a website to be able to create an online payment link. You can do that now without a website. But to have a very easy way for them to purchase is, I really recommend it, and it will allow you to make more sales and sell what you have much faster. The fifth thing is that people that sell well and regularly have a level of urgency behind why somebody should be buying quickly. So this is, again, another thing I figured out is that often I would have a painting available and I'd be like, oh, I finished this painting. If anybody likes it, message me. There's no urgency behind that, even if people like it. So you might have a few people have gone, I really do like this painting. And then you put out a few soft posts about it and you're like, oh, it's here, you can buy it. And then they're kind of like, oh, I do like it, but I'll think about it. People who sell well and sell with real intention over certain periods of time and certain pockets of time over the year with, a focused launch or release of something special will have a limited time on it. They'll have a limited number. So if you create a small series of, let's take an example here, of works in your studio, and you're just going to have some lovely little Christmas present style gifts that are $200 to $300 each, and you're going to release just 4 of them. That is a limited number, and that creates urgency because there's only 4. Once they're gone, they're gone. So that's urgency created by going, hey guys, there's only 4 of these and they're really special. They're not going to be made again, anything like this. Get it now or you don't get it at all. Another example is limited edition, a limited time offer. So you might have an offer where you could get a reduced price or a shipping discount, or maybe you get a little bonus gift, something like that for a limited time. And you really promote that urgency factor alongside the anticipation of what's coming. So that's the other piece of the puzzle that really does create urgency for somebody to go, yeah, I'm going to buy it now because I know I'm going to get the special thing with it, and that's going to be amazing for so-and-so. And that's, you want them to start to think about why they're like, I have to get onto this. So urgency is the other thing. And finally, they use very positive language. Whenever I often see artists speaking kind of, you don't really believe that they believe in themselves, whether it's kind of like, oh, this didn't happen, and or this is a piece I'm not so, it's okay, I'm not that sold on it. The feeling or lack of self-belief will be felt by those who read what you're writing or hear what you're saying. So practicing really positive self-talk through content, written content, or when you're talking to a friend or family member about what you're doing is vital. Because you could be doing everything I just covered, and you could be doing it in a way that they're reading it going, I don't think she believes it, so I don't believe it. And that is just going to really kill your chances of making good sales. So it's a really important one as well. Right, I'm going to share this document. So so far I've gone through 6 reasons why some artists or just generally business people sell regularly online. And I'm going to just talk a bit about how you can now consider how you make a really simple plan this month to put yourself out there and make some sales, even if you haven't thought about what you're going to sell yet, which feels very scary. But I want to show you that it's possible and that you can really simplify this. So let me find the document that you will all have available to you after, so you can use this to make a plan. Right. Okay. So as I say, I've listed these 6 things I've just covered at the top so you can really remember what makes people successful at selling, and that will hopefully be some nice little prompts for you. So like I said, I wanted to talk today in a way to try and simplify how you're seeing the way you can sell, because often we're like, oh, no one wants it, no one wants to buy, I'm too worried to try, or I don't want to overpopulate my social media because it's going to be awkward. Those are all the things that are just holding you back from making having the potential sales that you could truly be having right now. So first and foremost, you've got to be willing to try these things. Just doing it is the key. And I know that it takes confidence and it's quite scary. But I promise you, once you start and you start to see a result and a sale from this kind of thing, you'll start to go, oh my goodness, like this could actually really work for me. So if you are struggling with the concept of starting how to sell something that you create, and it could, like I say, it could be anything. This is relevant to anything. Or if you're an artist who sells well, perhaps at events and things, but just doesn't know really how to make it happen for yourself online or through your own contacts. This is for you. So the key thing is start really simple. So I want to talk from thinking of this as, I don't even know if I want to sell anything this month, to perhaps at the end of the session you're going, I'm going to give it a go. So that's how I've kind of structured this little document for you. You can ask questions as we go, by the way. Please feel free to. Right. So first things first, just to consider 3 things I've just listed at the top. So start simple. So if you have something at home that you've created, and I'm going to throw out some random ideas here. You might have little sketches that you've done that turned out really well. They might have been just doodles. Why can't you put them in a little frame and sell those for Christmas? Perhaps you've done some paintings recently that you're like, they've turned out really well, but I'm a bit nervous to sell them. Pull those out. You don't need to suddenly get creating something new here. Like, work with what you have. Some of you are already planning some great stuff. I put up a post earlier in the week. If you haven't seen that, have a look in the Art Coaching Hub Facebook group. And some of you are already in the works of planning or selling some really beautiful things for Christmas: print collections, watercolor collections, some beautiful ceramic Christmas decorations. Anything applies to this. So start simple. What do you have that you could offer? There's no rules, and there's no certain amount or number or, parameters around what is suitable for this. Second thing, if you're sitting there going, but I don't have a big Facebook or Instagram following and I just wouldn't bother. Well, we all start, and the sales always come first, thick and fast, from people who know you. Why? Because they have a connection with you. I think we get this really, when we start with an Instagram account and a Facebook account, we get this really false sense or idea that because we now have this and we're posting, random people see our work, go, oh my God, it's amazing, I'm going to buy it straight away. That's not how it works. People will buy once they have seen what you do and like it, get to know you and your work a bit, and have seen it over and over a few times. That's when they start to really think about buying. So trying to bring in new people right now is the harder part, is the hardest part. But if you start to think about, who are my friends and family and people I've got on my Facebook page, both your personal and private, my work colleagues, all the people in your life, who could I just let them know about this? There's a lot of people, I would guarantee, in that zone. And the other thing is, just understand that the main reason why you will or won't sell, if you decide to have a go at this, is that people have just not been made aware of what you have to offer. So some of the most wonderful artists in the, I've come across are like, oh, I go to this exhibition, that is exhibition, and I occasionally sell something. And then yet their neighbor doesn't even know what they do. And their neighbor knows and loves them and could be an immediate buyer. So it's about visibility and awareness of what you are, what you do, and what you have to offer. So remember that. So what I've done here, and again, you'll have this that you can work through, is created a little plan for you to actually write out and have a go at this. Try and sell something in November with the great reason and motivator being Christmas. Okay, so let's go through. I'm just going to check any comments, but let's have a look through this together and just talk about how you can make a little plan, a very simple plan. Again, we often overcomplicate how simple this can be. That really just requires courage. It just requires you to go, you know what? I'm just going to try this and see what happens. Because I promise you right now, these are the core things, and that we go into in the membership, the Unleash Your Art membership. Every month we go into all this stuff in a lot of detail. I'm going to give you a high level view of it. We go through all of these things regularly, and those people who are willing to just try some of them are getting results. They are putting things up on Facebook, and random people are coming through and saying, I want to buy it. I know it works. I promise you this works. It's just about you having some level of trust in yourself and commitment to trying. So let's go through this little plan together. First and foremost, item number one, what are you going to sell? So figure out, what is it going to be? I'm going to sell, and let's keep this really simple. I have 3 small paintings that I've done recently that I'll go and get a nice little frame from down the road, and I'm going to sell those. Done. You've decided. Okay. Number 2, why would somebody want them? So this is going to help you create content and things to talk about and share with people. Because often we're like, okay, sure, I'm going to sell these, but what do I say? Like, what do I tell people? And why would they want it? Well, this is the real marketing part of the selling process. So what I've done here is I've given you room to write down 5 things that make these 3 paintings, I've made this up, could be anything, whatever you're planning on thinking of selling, that make these 3 paintings really special. What was your inspiration? What was your process? What were the materials? Are they limited? I've only got 3 of them. Yes, they are. How would it be or feel like to have one of these little pieces in your life? Will they be amazing for a little wall that you might have that's lacking some character? Perfect little space for a narrow wall. What is the story behind the work? It could have just been a moment where you were like, I just feel like drawing, and it turned out amazing. Tell that story. So write down those things and just think about the process. There's always so much more in this than we realize. And what you'll start to realize is you're creating content. You're creating a post with each of these little points. And that could end up being 5, 10, 15 things. You could probably quite easily really get into the nuts and bolts of it and get into that. You could have a post with you holding it and just talk a bit about the final result and how it looks framed to be on your wall. So write these 5 things down, and what that will do is start to give you confidence that you're like, okay, I have some decent bullet points here to create some content and talk about why these are really great and really special. The third thing you're going to do is start to plan how you're going to tell people about it. This is where everyone gets stuck and stops, or goes halfway, or goes 20% of the way, and it's where it all falls down. So make a plan to start telling people about your offer. So create content that touches on the key points you have covered, as we've just discussed, the why it's so great. And challenge yourself to create a post or some kind of content about it every day for 10 to 14 days. So what this does is it creates a lot of awareness and anticipation for this very special little thing that you're going to be offering to people. So like I say, you can think about it how you can post on your Facebook, your personal pages, your private pages, send an email to your colleagues, tell all your friends, send an email to your friends. This is the courage part. So this is often the bit that makes everyone go, oh, no way am I going to do this. This is really awkward, and no, this is just too much. This is the bit that almost requires that accountability factor. How can you just try and create some accountability for yourself to go, no, this time I'm going to really do this and do it well and go hard and really reiterate what I've got to offer and why it's great. Because that is the defining factor around why things end up selling. It's because people have seen it a few times and gone, that's nice. And the next time they go, it's really nice. I really like that. Actually, I could imagine that being there. And then the time after that, they're like, yeah, I'm sold. That it will be amazing in that position in the house, or so-and-so would love that because she was talking about needing something for her home. This is the thought process we all go through when we're like thinking about buying. So really think about the fact that every time you post, you're letting that build in someone's head, and it's really needed if you want to have good sales. Number 4 is think about what is your urgency factor going to be. So what are you going to promote in somewhere in your content? And you might be saying, I'm going to have a date where they're all going to be available on the 25th of November. I'm just making this up. And so at the end of each of these posts where you talk about something great about the things that are going to be for sale, you're going to reiterate why people need to be ready to buy. And so the urgency might be, well, there's only 4. Remember, there's only 3 or 4 of these. So make sure you jump in before they're gone. I'm going to be cutting off my store on the 8th of December. That's your last chance to get these as a great Christmas gift. That's a limited time. So you're creating urgency. You might have a free little gift. You might have a really beautiful hand-painted gift card that you've used as, a trimming of one of your paintings. Something that is like a limited factor that will make people go, I've got to be ready for this because there's the extra bonus there. The 5th thing is payment. So try and make it easy for people to pay. Even if you don't have a website, you can create a online payment link that's just basically a URL link that you can send to people that people can put their credit card details in. You just need to go and create a Stripe account and create a product in there. So do some digging if you haven't done that yet, because it's a really great way to actually have the ability for people to pay you online if you haven't got to website building yet. It's very, very handy, really good. if you don't want to do that and that's too overwhelming, don't let that stop you. Please, please, please. I think I'd much rather you try and go through this process and challenge yourself to do it and see the results you could get and engagement that you could get, and then just message me if you're interested, or comment sold if you're the person who wants it by the time I put my post up saying they're now available, right? That's what you can also do. Be like, write sold or write me if you want this piece. So there's lots of different ways that you can try and get people to be like, oh, I'm going to just get onto it and make sure I'm the first person, and you can message them afterwards. But creating a Stripe account is really easy, and they are basically a provider that will essentially transact the credit card payment for you, and they sit at the back end of a website or any other company like Etsy. They are the company that sits at the back, does the money transaction, and pays you out. So it's a great thing to do because later you can link it to your website as well. But I don't want that to complicate it for you. And the last thing is, and I put this in on purpose because, like I said before, this can be the make or break of why we can make this plan. I think we all often can make this plan and have these ideas and get really excited about the potential. And then we don't stay accountable and we go, oh, it's too hard. I'm feeling icky about it. I don't want to do it. Create an accountability plan and stay focused. So how can you be committed to your plan? How can you make sure every day you go, I'm gonna put the post up. I'm gonna put the post up. I'm gonna do it. So tell somebody about it. Maybe tell a friend who's really supportive or a family member and say, I've got this plan, but I really need some help with accountability. Can I check in with you and let you know I've done it? This is half the reason why we often don't make progress, is because we're not accountable to anyone or anything, and we kind of go, I'll do it another time. And that's why we just continually procrastinate on these things. So that document is going to be made available. The resources at the bottom are actually all membership links. So those resources are in the portal for the Unleash Your Art membership, just to clarify that. So they're not available unless you're in the membership. On that note, the Unleash Your Art membership, which is the pay group that I have, and we go into this stuff every month in lots of detail around the marketing, sales, diversifying your business, how to create good habits, creating great content, and also the accountability factor in this group is really what sets it apart and helps the artists and they make real progress. So that is currently open until the 9th of November. It is the last time it's going to be open this year, and it's the last time it's going to be open at the current monthly rate. I'm going to also put that link in the comments if you're interested in looking at joining us. I'm just going to actually take you through, while we're online, I'm just going to take you through and show you the inner portal so you've got these links down here, extra resources to help, and all these different trainings. I just want to show you how much information is available in the membership now, because we've really built up an amazing catalog of training resources to help you build a really authentic, thriving art business. So I'm just going to show you what the portal looks like if you haven't seen it yet. This is relatively, here we go. So if you decide to join, it's like I say, it's a monthly membership and you get access to new monthly content every month. So we have a group coaching call, a new hour-long workshop detailing something really in relation to marketing, sales, and actually actively building your business, but with a really specific content topic and actionable steps for you to take. And then we have a monthly marketing challenge and social media tip of the month. So all of it's kind of helping you build what I touched on earlier, which is the ability for you to create a really sustainable business in your own hands, alongside the other opportunities that you'll naturally look for an artist outside of it. So this is what the portal looks like. There's welcome videos to help you understand how it works. Like you can see here, there's 69 resources in here, and everything from, these are the monthly workshops that we've had over time. So anything from mindset, goal setting, and business planning, which is really important, understanding how to prioritize things in your business. Marketing. So this month we did a whole session on creating really great marketing material that can be used, whether it's at a physical event or online, and I created 9 different templates that you can use. So these are all the kinds of things that are in here. How to create great stories in your content, social media planning, how to create really good marketing material and start to grow an email list, which is a little bit more detailed to what we've been talking about today, and getting into how to sell your art. So what we talked about today, I wanted to give you a really holistic, high-level view of how simple we can make it. But as you start to get used to the idea of selling, you can start to put some really more in-depth strategies around how you can actually sell your art with a real plan online with a lot of success. And that's where all this content comes in. And like I say, group coaching calls, there's a very short marketing challenge to help you get out there really authentically each month, 5 to 10 minute video for you to take action to be seen in different ways. And social media tips. So how can you start to build your social media game over time? So this is the kind of stuff within the membership. And just to show you, we also have a private group here where you can ask anything on any day of the week about what you need help with. And myself and my admin team will help answer those for you. So you get constant support, whether it be, I'm stuck with this, I don't know what to do here. You've got a place to ask the question. So this space is very supportive, and there's so much experience in here now. We all help each other with what we've experienced in that space. So that is the membership. Like I say, it's open till the 9th. It won't be open again in the same way next year. We'll be changing in price. So if you are interested, I'll put the link in the description and you can decide if you'd like to come in and see what it's all about. But on that note, going back to what we discussed today, I really hope this has been useful for you. I'm going to put the link to that document I was showing you earlier in the session so you can make your own plan. I'd love to hear if this has inspired some of you to do something and take some action. And I'd love to hear if you get results. So if you do try this and start to do something a little bit differently, let us know. Let me know if you've actually had something happen for you, because that is what I'm all about. And it makes my day to whenever I hear that an artist has had a win because of some information that they've been able to watch in action. So enjoy, take a risk, take a chance on yourself. You're also talented, and half the reason why we don't really realize how talented we are and how much people love what we do is because we won't put ourselves out there. So remember, this is really about people who make really successful businesses are just the ones who've taken that little bit of bravery, got up the courage to do something, and they've seen it work. So just keep that in mind. All right, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you very soon. Bye.